way, my Lord Sheriff. The Prince has asked you to wait for him here for a moment, while he takes care of some important matter. Perhaps in the meantime I can tell His Highness why you've come.
Important matters? Hard, you tell your master that I'm here for the same reason I always come. The most important matter of all, capture and execution of Robin Hood.
Oh yes, that. Well, I'll tell him if you wish it, but I don't think he'll be very keen.
Not keen? Not keen to capture Robin Hood? Well, that's the stupidest thing that
You forget yourself, Sheriff. The Prince has other matters with which to deal. He can't always indulge you in your single-minded pursuit of the Sherwood outlaw.
No, you forget yourself, Hodge. If I'm to maintain order for your precious prince, I must have absolute authority over the people of this misbegotten land. As long as Robin and his merry band of cutthroats continues to elude my authority, I will look weak, and I will not be seen as weak. Not by them, and certainly not by you, you jumped-up little toads. Speak to me again with anything but the utmost deference, and I swear that
If you don't like my servants, Sheriff, I pray you, send them away. But don't abuse them, not while I still have need of them anyway.
Of course, your highness.
Thank you, Your Highness.
Shut up, Hodge, and go away. Oh, and Hodge, there's someone at the gate. See what they want. If it's important, send them in.
And if not, Your Highness?
Oh, I don't know. Send them away. Oh, kill them. I don't care as long as I don't have to hear about it.
Of course, Your Highness.
You see, Sheriff, that's the key to good management. Discipline, yes. Harshness, yes. But for goodness sake, throw them a bone now and again. It keeps them happy and on their toes. This way, he'll never know how I'm going to treat him. I think I'll be absolutely miserable to him when he returns.
Your highness, if we could, the outlaw.
You insist, Sheriff, but I would think you'd want to avoid any punishment for your egregious behavior in that direction.
Behavior? Failure? But your highness, already I've done...
You've done nothing! An entire year wasted! Oh, yes, a few miscellaneous outlaws captured here and there, but the ringleaders, Little John, Friar Tuck, and most importantly, Robin Hood, they remain at large and unhanged!
We performed countless raids on Sherwood. To no avail. And Lady Marion, she knows where they are. You would only let me question her.
And bring the wrath of my mother down on my head. We both know that Lady Marion is in constant communication with her up in London. Do you know how fast she would get to Nottingham if that communication suddenly dried up? That is something neither of us can afford to have happen.
No, Your Highness.
No, as long as Lady Marion remains the goddaughter to my brother Richard, and in my mother's favour, she will remain unmolested by you and your torturers. If you can't do it without her help, you can't do it at all. Unless...
Unless? You're thinking of something, Your Highness. You have a plot to unhatch? May I be included in this latest device?
Included, Sheriff! You are positively featured. But don't worry, you'll learn everything when the time is right.
Someone important to see you, Your Highness.
And what do you know? The time is right now. Send them in. Oh, and Hodge!
Yes, Your Highness.
You are a completely worthless bit of nothing who would not be noticed if he died. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Highness.
See, that's good management.
Rob! I've been robbed!
We found him crying by the side of the road, Your Highness.
He claims to be someone important.
And so he is, boys. Sheriff, this quivering mass is the famous Abbot of the Black Cannon. Good morning, Abbot. How are we today?
Well, I'm distraught, if you must know. Distressed, destroyed, robbed, and practically killed on my way here this morning.
My, how distressing that all sounds. Edgar, Edom, a chair and some refreshment for my friend the Abbot.
Edom, 2 chairs.
1 chair, Sheriff. You'll stand. You're being punished.
Yes, Your Highness. Sorry, Sheriff.
Now, Abbot, tell us, how came you to this sorry state?
As if we didn't know.
Silence, Sheriff! Continue, Abbot.
Thank you. I was assaulted on the road coming here today and robbed and left for dead. It was Robin Hood. Him, a great oaf and a devil's pudding of a friar.
On the road, you say?
Yeah.
Tell me, where? And immediately I will send my men to cover that...
Don't waste your efforts, Sheriff. He'll elude you today. He always does.
Yeah, but I have...
And don't pout! Go on, Abbot.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, what else is there to tell? They robbed me and they left me there and they laughed at me.
I know, that's like...
It was horrible.
I know the feeling.
You know it, yet you do nothing about it. Your Highness, I must protest. Isn't it the sheriff's job to keep the roads safe from bandits?
If you don't like the way that I perform my job, why not simply stay off the road? No one asked you to come here.
Actually, you've been left out again, Sheriff. I invited him here. The Abbot represents the Bishop of the Black Cannon, with whom I have some rather important business arrangements. Don't worry, Sheriff. You'll know everything in no time. Now, go down to the dungeon and get our prisoner.
Prisoner, Your Highness, please, I don't think I can take any more bandits today.
It's nothing like that, Abbot. It's a nun, a holy sister.
A nun, Your Highness.
Yes, the former prioress of Curfews. She's Robin Hood's cousin, you know. I've been keeping her here as a lure for him, but so far he doesn't seem to want her.
She betrayed him, Abbot. She was caught receiving his stolen goods and she traded his safety for her own.
And unfortunately, neither worked out exactly as she anticipated. And here she is. Now go and get her, Sheriff. I have a proposition that might be of interest to her.
Right away, Your Highness.
Now tell me, Abbot, what do you know of Baron Edward Fitzwalter?
I know that he is friend and advisor to the king.
Who?
Your brother Richard. I know as well that he is one of the most influential of all the barons. I also know that his daughter Marion is goddaughter to your brother Richard, and...
Do you know that he's dead?
No. He was a good man, by all accounts. I'm sorry to hear it.
Well, I'm not. He was politically inconvenient and a damnable nuisance. I, for one, shall not mourn his passing. But unfortunately, his untimely demise leaves a few loose ends which could use some tightening.
Such as?
He left no heirs! As of today, Lady Marion is the sole surviving member of his family. She alone will inherit his vast wealth, his lands, his influence over the other landed barons. Unless
someone can be found to marry her, is that it?
Precisely!
You already have somebody in mind for this exalted position.
I might! What would you say to our good friend, the sheriff, in the role of Brew, eh?
A master stroke, Your Highness, but do you think that the sheriff can be convinced to take on the role? It is common knowledge that the Lady Marion is in love with the elusive Hood, and he with her. Mightn't that put romantic rivals in considerable danger?
How little you know of romance, Abbot. If I know the sheriff, the chance to instigate trouble and lure Robin into the open will add considerable sauce to his amorous inclinations.
Killing two birds with one stone.
Something like that. But now, what I want to know from you is, will your master, the bishop, sanction this arranged marriage? The bride will no doubt be extremely unwilling, and the sheriff not quite of her station. But That's being acknowledged. If those obstacles could be overlooked, I could be positively effusive in my gratitude.
Your Highness, let me allay your misgivings. I have strict instructions from the bishop to accede to any requests coming from you. And allow me to give you my personal guarantee that the bishop will perform the marriage rite himself. We of the Black Cannon know where our loyalties lie.
Excellent, excellent, my friend. Now, that's what I wanted to hear. Let me call my servant for some refreshment, for I find... Let us curtail our discourse for a moment. I believe we are being listened to. Come out, wherever you are, Lady Marian. Ah, there you are. Come, say hello to my friend and ally, the Abbot.
I wasn't listening. I was merely walking by when I heard laughter. I was on my way to get my own food, since I denied the service of even one handmaiden in this wretched castle. Not even Lizzie.
Your maid Lizzie was sent back to London for spying. She will be returned to you when she has learned her lesson, or you have. Don't try to deny it, lady. You are doing what you are always doing, gathering information for Robin Hood. Your motivations are paper thin, and in this case, entirely unnecessary. I want Robin to know. I will want everyone to know. You, my dear, getting married.
And who is to have my hand in marriage? Oh, as well as my vast estate and my father's wealth. Oh, yes, Prince. I do know what this is all about, for your motivations are paper thin as well.
Such a clever girl. But you haven't figured out everything yet, have you? For example, the name of your prospective groom. What would you say to the sheriff?
Never. I would die first.
We'll see about that. Edgar Edom! Take Lady Marian to her room and keep her there for the remainder of the day. Make sure she sees no one.
What about food, Your Highness?
She will have none. You're being sent to bed without supper for defying Daddy.
Daddy? You are nobody's daddy. You couldn't reproduce if your life depended on it, you mincing, impotent!
Get her away and take her out, lock her up and get her out of my sight! I never want to hear that vile slander! Sheriff, such a lucky man, such a treasure!
A buried treasure, to be sure, what with her being locked up and all.
Really? Do you think so? Lady Marian will have escaped from the castle inside the hour.
What?
Don't worry, by the end of the day, Robin Hood will know all of my plan for the darling girl.
But, Your Highness, why? Why would you allow such treason in your own castle?
I allow it because it currently suits my purposes to allow it.
But
No. All will be revealed in good time, Abbot. All will be revealed. Now, where is the sheriff with the priors?
I don't know.
Sheriff! Touch me. There they are. There they are. Oh my! Who's that with you? Oh, surely it's not the prioress. Oh, my dear lady, what have you been doing with yourself in the dungeon the past year?
Reflecting upon my sins, Your Highness, and praying for some redemption.
So you've not been born. Then go.
With your crimes, Prioress, a year was hardly sufficient.
Crimes! I did what you forced me to do. I did.
Quiet, Sheriff! I'm conducting this interview. I pray you do not antagonize our good friend, the sister.
Friend.
Your Highness, you're joking.
It's what I said. We're all friends here. No need to reopen old wounds. Now, back to you, Prioress. I can't speak for heaven, of course, but your earthly repentance is at hand. I've been discussing your case with my good friend the abbot. We have decided that your period of penance is at an end. This very day, you will be released from the dungeon, redressed and reinstated into the priory that you love so well. Now, doesn't that sound nice?
Naturally, I'm delighted by this news, Your Highness. However, I feel that there is something more than simple altruism behind your decision.
What? Priories, whatever could you mean?
I am neither an innocent nor a fool. You're saying what I think. I am certain there is a big but I am not seeing.
That would be the abbot over here.
Silence, Sheriff! All right, sister, you've got me. I do want something in return.
Of course.
At this very moment, Lady Marion is escaping from the castle and into Sherwood Forest to tell Robin of my newest scheme. Since you know these woods better than any of my men,
Far better.
I want you to follow her, find their camp, and bring me back any information you can about their raids, plans, counterattacks, etc. I will even place one of my own men under your authority to act as bodyguard. You will, I think, Sheriff. Yeah.
Your Highness, I think that it's best if I decide whom we can spare for the prioress here.
Nonsense, Sheriff. I'm relieving you of that troublesome task. And besides, you are going to be very busy planning for your wedding.
Wedding? I'm to be married? And whose marriage to me would be advantageous to you, my liege?
Don't worry, Sheriff. You'll find out soon enough. Trust me, you are going to love the bride I have picked for you. But my proposal must come before yours. What do you say, Prioress? Will you perform these duties faithfully as they have been laid out for you?
Oh, Your Highness, faith has nothing to do with this. I will do what I must to get back what is mine.
Good. Just what I wanted to hear. A woman of your resolve was wasted in my dungeon this past year. I'm so glad we could help each other out in this matter. Now, to work! Sheriff, I want you to take the prioress and see to the dispatch of her bodyguard.
Yes, but Your Highness, my wedding? I don't think that...
Exactly, Sheriff! That's why all the thinking will henceforth be done by me! Now go!
Don't touch me, seriously.
He is a damnable hothead. Just think of the fit my mother will throw when he becomes a baron with Fitzwalter's influence. Though still, that's reason enough to do it, I suppose. Now, Abbot, only one item remains on today's agenda. The outlaw Robin Hood. I need him kept busy and far away until his wedding business is accomplished. What can you tell me of that criminal at large, Guy of Gisborne?
Sir Guy?
He's a nobleman?
Nay, Your Highness. He's a lunatic. Fancies himself a nobleman, but his claim to that is suspect. Goes about clad in an old tan horse skin.
I see. And where might I find him?
Your Highness, whatever do you mean? What would I know about the whereabouts of a murderer and a thief?
Oh, heaven! You clergymen are such inept liars. I already know that your master, the bishop, keeps Sir Guy on retainer for those special jobs requiring his special skills. Thievery, arson, extortion, execution. I even know that he was given the honorific Sir as thanks for a tricky bit of business involving the Bishop of York. Need I go on?
Nay, Your Highness. Your knowledge is comprehensive.
And yet I suspect somewhat incomplete. But that is not important to me. What I need to know from you is, will His Grace let me borrow him for a time?
Your Highness, are you sure you want to? I mean, even the bishop has a hard time keeping him under control and having him about in your castle.
No. He won't ever be here. He'll be in Sherwood. Surely you know the old phrase, if you can't beat them, join them.
Aye, Your Highness.
Yes, and what about divide and conquer? Don't worry, Abbot. Suffice to say, I have an idea combining those two themes that will keep Masterhood very busy and very far away. Now, let us retire to the kitchen for some refreshment. I find that all this plotting leaves me hungry as a horse!
Oh! I just got it!